Welcome back to The Bros. I'm Elijah Phillips, and today I'm starting a new series on the channel called Book Talk or Comic Talk. I'll think of something. Today I'm reviewing Watchmen. It was written by Alan Moore and illustrated by Dave Gibbons, and it was released as a 12-part series from mid-1985 to early 1986. No restraint on spoilers, by the way. The plot of this book is that in alternate 1985 America, costume superheroes are a part of everyday life. When one of his former comrades is murdered, mass vigilante Rorschach uncovers a plot to kill and discredit all past and present superheroes. As he reconnects with his retired associates, only one of which has true powers, Rorschach glimpses a far-reaching conspiracy involving their shared past and catastrophic consequences for the world's future. I would say the most interesting part of the book is when the characters Silk Spectre and Dr. Manhattan return to Earth after a long conversation on Mars. When they arrive in Times Square, they come to discover that a giant alien squid has teleported into the city, killing millions of people. This moment shows that the main villain, Ozymandias' plan to achieve world peace and unite the nation under a common foe meant killing millions to save billions. Now let's talk about the characters. The most interesting character, in my opinion, is Dr. John Osterman, aka Dr. Manhattan. After an intrinsic field experiment gone wrong, Dr. John Osterman's body is torn apart, and over the course of a couple of weeks, he reassembles himself and becomes a deity. He may be superhuman, but he is a really bad boyfriend. Since he no longer has human needs, he can no longer relate to people. John becomes cold and distant. He perceives time in such a way that he can see his past, present, and future all at once. He is pushed to his breaking point after his girlfriend, Lori Uspechik, leaves him after an altercation. Then he leaves to Mars, not to return till the end of the book. Another interesting character is Rorschach, a hero who refuses to retire after the Keene Act of '77, a law that made all superheroes join the government or give up the mask for good. On the surface, Rorschach is like Batman. He lurks in the shadows, beats up criminals, says edgy things in a gravelly voice, but by day, Batman is Bruce Wayne, billionaire genius. Meanwhile, Rorschach is Walter Kovacs, a greasy loner weirdo who walks the streets with a sign that says the end is nigh. Because realistically, a person who dresses up and fights people at night isn't a functional person. He's a nutcase. So Rorschach is an asocial, violent psycho with an extreme worldview. He thinks all of society is filthy, sinful, undeserving of mercy. Rorschach's black and white mask reflects his black and white morality. Everything is either good and evil must be punished. Rorschach says he'll never compromise in his judgment, but he's often biased. He spares people punishment for personal reasons. At the end of the book, Dr. Manhattan is talking with Adrian Veidt about his plan to bring the world together and prevent nuclear war. Adrian Veidt asks Dr. Manhattan if he did the right thing in the end, and all John answers is that in the end, nothing ever ends. That, I believe, is the theme of the book, is that nothing ever really ends. As much as you want to make things right and end things and make things better, nothing ever really ends, which is why the sequel, Doomsday Clock, shows just that. But that's for another time. My personal opinion of the book is that it's one of the best novels ever written. When it originally came out in the 80s, it was a huge hit with everyone. The messages in the book showed the flawed lives of people who want to dress up as superheroes and a plot to prevent nuclear war, causing a mini Armageddon, which is what makes this book so special to me and many other fans who have read it. I personally recommend this book to people who are 15 and older and who enjoy reading comics. You see, you need to have a mature mind to comprehend some of the mature themes that appear in the book. Now it's time to compare the movie to the book. The movie came out in 2009 and was directed by Zack Snyder. The movie was actually very similar to the book story-wise, except for a few minor differences in some scenes and the absence of a certain giant telekinetic squid at the end. It's very interesting to discover that Zack Snyder actually used the comic book as a storyboard when directing the film. Currently, you can watch the film, the theatrical version, on HBO Max, and the director's cut and the ultimate cut are only sold online. That's why my final rating for this book is a 10 out of 10. See you next time.